Last week for Mind the Gap, we looked at the concept of power and inviting that idea, that energy into our week as we prepared for a week full of school or work or just life. This week, again, we're looking at this idea of our good or our God. However, the word that I want to think on and bring into this week is wisdom. My good, my God, is wisdom. For me, wisdom is less about knowledge. It's not about the content, but it's about an understanding. It's an ability to take information and to apply it. Wisdom isn't something one learns. Wisdom is something one inherits from being still, from listening with an inner ear. This week I've been really sitting with this concept of wisdom personally. I'm prone to collecting information, knowledge. What can I learn so that I can get further, so that I can progress faster? Through our ministry, Sunset Service Toronto Fellowship, the month of January's theme is purpose and progression. When working from a place of wisdom, we know that progression is always happening with or without our conscious awareness, that the universe is always moving forward towards a greater good. But the ego mind, the little me that says that there is a finish line somewhere that I need to get towards, operates in a place of collecting information and data so that I can skip some important steps, that I can rush forward ahead to this supposed finish line. Wisdom isn't as myopic as knowledge. It looks at the whole picture and it sees that there is never really a finish line. Stress, anxiety, frustration comes from this rat race that many of us have put ourselves into. A consciousness, a way of seeing that we've bought into, that's pre-existed us. The hustle and bustle that has many of us suffer stress, anxiety, frustration, and depression when we feel to get ahead, we need to get more. So today's affirmation is, right where I am, God is, and my God is wise. Right where I am, God is, and my God is wise. Right where I am, God is, and my God is wise. If you can get yourself into a position where you can be most relaxed and comfortable, preferably in a seat, back up, spine straight, feet planted on floor, hands in lap, either on your knees or gathered somewhere close to your abdomen. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If you don't, find a spot on the floor, a tile or the curve of your shoe, just a fixed spot, and just give your full attention to it. Put simply, meditation is just a state of observation. Attention and intention, focus, stillness. And so I ask that you get still wherever it is that you are and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation, the rising and the falling of your chest, the way that your chest expands and contracts with each breath. And just notice how with each breath you begin to relax deeper into your chair or your seat. How the muscles in your body begin to let go. And as the words of my mouth move over you, how you begin to feel yourself get more and more present in this moment. Whatever thoughts or feelings have carried themselves into this moment, for a moment, just step aside. And all of your attention and intention is simply put upon being in this moment and observing your breath. And the sensation of relaxation that accompanies your presence. Continue to breathe. And even as your thoughts arise and fall, just begin to imagine as if they were moving before you as if on a conveyor belt in a factory. All of these thoughts, perhaps what you're going to cook for dinner, or what happened today at work or school, a fight you had with a parent or a sibling, a partner. Maybe just the thought of that itch on your nose. Imagine as if all of your thoughts were just moving along on a conveyor belt, as if in a factory. And your silent observer is watching over them as they move by. And maybe you do happen to pick up one or two of these thoughts, but just as quickly as you pick them up, allow yourself to just put them down and watch them move along the conveyor belt. And observe how another thought comes. And another. But as you become more attuned and more attentive to the movement of these thoughts and keeping yourself in a state of observation, not judgment, but observation, fewer and fewer of these thoughts get picked up by you as they move along on the conveyor belt. And now, in fact, perhaps you begin to notice that there are spaces in between the thoughts. Gaps in between the thoughts. Mind the gap. Notice them. Those pregnant pauses in between the flurry of thoughts or emotions that rise and fall, that rise and fall, that come and go. Be present to that peaceful, quiet, absent stillness that exists there. Continue breathing. Continue breathing. Now, we're going to pull in this idea of wisdom. This idea of wisdom that is so much larger than knowledge. The sense of knowing that cannot be learned, but rather is imparted from somewhere larger than us, and yet intimately connected to us. It's intuitive knowing. It's big picture knowing. It can't be contained by books or by lectures, but it can be discerned by the Spirit, by that heart space. We're pulling into this week, through this moment, wisdom. We are affirming the placement of wisdom at the center of our being. Wisdom intuitively guides us towards the decisions that best serve us in each and every moment. Wisdom does not rely solely on facts or things that can be observed, but something greater than what can be gathered by the senses. It is an intuitive knowing, an inspired knowledge, much larger than any book or lecture. There isn't a class that you can take for this, a workshop that you can be a part of that will give you this. Wisdom comes from that which is greater than ourselves. When we're quiet enough, still enough to be guided by it. So we pull into this moment wisdom. Where I am, God is, and my God is wise. Where I am, God is, and my God is wise. Where I am, God is, and my God is wise. Take a breath. Let it out. Whatever you're preparing for as you go into your week. Perhaps it's a test, an assignment, a workload that must be taken care of, or just tasks that require that you have a particular kind of knowing or understanding. In addition to all of the learning that you may acquire over the week or the studying that you may engage in, I ask that you take moments out to tap back into the wisdom that you are connected to. Allow that intuitive prompting of the Spirit to push you into whatever it is that you need, wherever it is that you need to go, whoever it is that you need to reach out to, or just whatever needs to be downloaded for you at whatever time, at the right time. I just want to declare and decree for your week that wisdom is in, as, and through you in each and every moment. That you are being guided towards your greater good, regardless of seeming circumstances. that you are receiving just what it is that you need to tackle each and every challenge or obstacle that you face during your week. That there is nothing that you have need of except to be still and to know that right where you are, God is. And your God, my God, our God is wise, all-knowing, omniscience, available to you and through you. Have an amazing, amazing week. Mind the gap.